First of all, I always thought that breast cancer was a white woman's disease. I didn't know that black women got breast cancer, and that was mainly because all the promotions featured white women. So I just thought, oh, black women don't get this. And then, lo and behold, I was diagnosed with stage 3 advanced breast cancer. I thought after that I finished with the IV and the chemo that I was going to go home. I didn't know I had to take additional over-the-counter, not over-the-counter, but prescription drugs. And I went, and it was quite expensive. And I thought to myself, okay, what do poor people do? How do women that look like me, that is less fortunate than I am, how do they make it? How do they find the money to pay for this prescription, take care of their families, cover all their finances? That must be so difficult for them. And then I was at home one morning feeling, terrible after chemotherapy treatment. Couldn't get off the bed. It was terrible. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want any other woman that looks like me to have to go through this alone. So when I get better, I'm going to do something about this. That started the journey of me and the Olive Branch of Hope.
The Olive Branch of Hope's office is situated on Indigenous land. This is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Wendat and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. The Olive Branch of Hope gratefully acknowledges these Indigenous nations for their guardianship of this land. The Olive Branch of Hope also recognizes stolen people from across the world who have inhabited this land by force. Slavery prior to and including the transatlantic slave trade continuing through modern-day human trafficking have brought Indigenous people from across the globe to care for this land. We acknowledge the truth of our Canadian history and commit ourselves to reconciliation, knowledge, and careful intention. I invite you to take a moment of silence. Feel free to use this moment for prayer, memory of a loved one, or to set an intention for your engagement in this space. Thank you for holding this moment of silence with me.
Well, good evening and hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening on 30 Days of Her Story. We are on day 13 and we are spending this wonderful month to campaign in support of the Olive Branch of Hope. Before we jump in, I just want to share with you what we're here to let you and everyone know about the amazing work done by this organization, the Olive Branch of Hope. TOBOH, as we affectionately call it, that's the acronym TOBOH, was started over 20 years ago. Yes, 20. And has been holding a sacred space for women of African ancestry as they journey through cancer treatment and thrive through life afterwards. The founder, visionary, and stalwart leader, our Miss Leila Springer, is joined by her board and volunteers in saying thank you. Thank you to you for watching, and thank you for sharing. Quickly share this link with everyone that you know so that we can jump right into this conversation. And I'm so excited and looking forward to interviewing a very dynamic woman. Her name is Cynthia Jurado of Estilo Salon. And I'm going to, Cynthia is going to join us. And then we're going to get into the conversation. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
We're so glad that you're joining here on this interview for this this very amazing month of March as we share our story, and that's what we're going to do. So I want to get right into it and invite you to tell us a little bit about who is Cynthia.
Okay, so my name is Cynthia Jurado. I'm a wife, a mother of 3 children, 4 stepchildren, grandmother. Um, I own my own hair salon. Uh, I'm a founder of a women's group called She Shall Be Called Woman. And I also work part-time at an old age home.
Wow. Okay, so I said a little, but it never ceases to amaze me that when I get the chance to talk to women, that they are so multifaceted. I think that's the beauty about us. You're a grandmother, Cynthia?
Yes, I am.
That is so awesome. What a blessing it is to be a grandmother. I haven't walked that road, so I will have to come to you for some tips on how I can still look amazing as you do
Oh, thank you so much.
and vibrant. I'm sure they keep you hopping, right?
Oh, yeah.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I have two grandchildren.
That is awesome. That is so beautiful. Somebody asked me the other day, "Are you sad that you're not a grandmother yet?" And I said, "No, my daughter has a puppy, so I feel like a grandmother already. I think it's a practice run,
Right.
just watching her. She's away."
Right.
Now, tell me the truth. Is it as enjoyable as the little ones being with you as it is sending them home?
Yeah, I do. I really do enjoy it, spending time with my granddaughters, and yeah. And then when it's a little too much, I'm like, okay, they're ready to go home now.
And a little bit too much for you might be for them. Let's get going, Grandma. Let's go around the block again.
Oh yeah, they have lots of energy. They have a lot of energy.
Well, I think it's fantastic. You obviously have a lot to share with them. And being a grandmother, a mother, and a wife, you have probably had to sit down many times or often to think about this notorious question. What, in your opinion, what is the importance of vision for your life? Talk to us about that.
Um, Vision. Well, I'm just gonna start off by saying, like, I didn't have a vision like right away. I didn't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what my vision was going to be or where I would end up. I was a young mom,
Mhm.
so I was a young single mom. So I just doing that itself, it was hard, and just I guess growing up, I had a mom who had mental health. So it kind of steered me in a certain way, so that when I kind of became a mom, um, it made me kind of get a vision of where I want to be, what kind of mom I wanted to be, what kind of woman I needed to be, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so my vision changed a lot of times, and
Yeah.
so um, I just always felt like I had like a calling, on my life. Like something was telling me, um, there's more. You can do more. Like you're not stuck here on this space, but there's more for you, you know? So yeah, I think just that, and each child, that came along, it gave me more of a vision, of where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, basically with my life.
I think that's very powerful, and I appreciate you sharing and I appreciate your transparency because many times um, I don't know if you've ever felt that. I mean, that's a huge question. And I think a lot of times, many times we see a lot of interviews, we see people, and sometimes we hear that people have had a vision all the time, all through their life, and that's not necessarily true. I don't think it's true for everybody. I think we all have dreams. I
Right.
know that as a little girl, playing or growing up, that you have dreams of what you want your life to be, or what you'd love to see happen in the world, and it's not always all panned out in one magical moment.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of us as women, that as we grow and as we change and as we encounter different situations and circumstances through life, it kind of helps to redirect sometimes. Sometimes we have a path that we're going, and I don't know if you can relate to this, that you're like, I don't think I want to go down that path. you know
Yeah, definitely.
you know
Definitely.
whether it be having relationships, or seeing the way friends or family have gone in maybe that direction. You just kind of feel like, maybe I'm going to turn this a different way.
Right.
um, you mentioned, I don't know if I can dive into this a little bit, but you mentioned your mom. Is she still with us? Is she?
Yeah, she's still with us, and I think I'm really growing in that relationship with her, like now, because as a child, you kind of like think like a child, and then as you become a teenager, you think like a teenager. But now that I'm a woman and a mother, it made me look back to her and really try to work on that relationship. you know
Mm,
so I think that relationship now, it's really growing, um this past maybe couple years.
wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I love that. And that's so beautiful. And I encourage you in that. I know my relationship with my mom has changed a lot of times. And I don't know if you know the saying, once a man, twice a child. It seems like as our parents age, um, that they are the parent, but then at some point along the way, you almost I feel like I'm kind of the parent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like I'm kind of giving the advice and the direction. Like the roles have switched,
Yeah.
you know. But that again happens as we evolve and as we grow. With your children, I'm sure each one of them is different. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're so different.
No, and none of your pregnancies were the same.
No, not at all.
And when babies are born, whether we have them naturally or we bring them in the home as babies, their voice is loud. And I think I'm sure for you, I don't know, I don't want to project that on you, but for many of us as women, there's always been a time where it seems like everybody's louder
Right.
than us.
Yeah.
Everybody's voice is loud. Can you, when you think looking back, reflecting now, reflecting on days gone by, has there ever been a time where you felt as though your voice was growing small, or was diminished or silenced? Was there a time in your life? Can you shed some light on that, or share
uh,
with us how that felt and what?
yeah, like I said, like growing up, I felt probably my voice wasn't heard. you know um I had to grow into basically having a voice, and having that, being able to say, what I wanted, what I didn't want it. You know, as a child, I guess it was rebellious because my mom had mental health, and I thought maybe I caused it, you know, somehow, like in my mind, and so it kind of took away, my voice, I guess. And then growing and becoming a woman, and deciding that I wanted to open my hair salon, it kind of made me have a voice, and it made me want to help women and help women with not only looking good like on the outside, but also feeling good like on the inside, and having that voice with them, sharing with each client, telling them my little story and how it could help them. That's, I guess, how I have my voice.
Yeah. Cynthia, you have a powerful story in the fact that you being an entrepreneur. I have launched into that field. It is not an easy road. Um, Tell me, if you can you reflect, was there anybody or were there any buddies that encouraged you or pushed you forward, or were there voices that tried to discourage you from launching your salon? Because um, that is a venture that I personally, I could hardly do my own hair. Girl, I have to have my hair. I could hardly do my own hair, much less even my daughter's hair. But so to take on the dream of having your own place, what was that like?
Well, just having my own place. I had worked at different places. I had worked at very high end places, a little like mom shop, and just taking in from each one of those people, and learning like, okay, this is something I could do, and I thought I'd just take a chance on myself, you know, and I just saw like the kind of bosses that I had, and I was just like, I don't really want a boss. I just want to be my own boss. Like, I'm tired of taking orders from people, and I feel like I can do this. So I definitely took a chance on myself. I also have somebody that I work with, both of us,
Okay.
and she was actually new from Montreal. She comes from a Grenada, and I was just like, just come with me. Let's just take this leap. Let's just open the salon. Like, just take a chance. We'll sign a lease for a short amount of time and just see how it goes. You know, like what could we lose?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge because you're taking on a lease. You're in a building, but you had a friend, so you had at least somebody with you.
Yeah. And I had just met her, like she was new to Toronto. But I liked the way she worked. I liked her work ethic, and we got along great. And I was just like, let's just take this chance. Let's just do it.
I love it. I love it. Um, Nadia says in the chat, great service at Estillo. So she's picking up
Yeah.
that you're kind and wonderful with the children that come into your salon. So we want to big up Estillo Salon. I want to congratulate you on taking that step. Um, I love what you said when you said, "What could go wrong? Let's just take the leap." Were there butterflies in your stomach that first day, turning the lock and opening the door?
Um, oh yeah, it was nerve wracking, especially because I only had like a little budget, and that was either to like either feed my kids, buy something for my kids, or just use that money to venture out and just start this new adventure, and it would benefit all of us, in the long run.
So wait a second. I just realized you opened the salon while you had these young children.
Right. I just had my baby. Like my baby was probably 6 months, yeah, 6 months.
Cynthia, who does that? That's not that's you are a dreamer, you're a visionary. How many did you have a clientele number that you were hoping to reach or have in your store for that week? Like what was your Did you have?
I honestly didn't know what to expect. Like, I had clients that I had from previous salons that I worked at that followed me, and honestly, we didn't know like what to expect the first day, but it was like as soon as we opened, that first 3 months, it was just successful. We were busy all the time. Like, we didn't even have time for a break. Yeah.
So was it word of mouth, or did you market through?
Well, we opened a little tiny shop in the flea market, the Old Western Flea Market.
Okay.
And from there, we basically branched out because on there, I could only work on the weekends. So Saturday and Sunday, because they still had my baby.
Yes.
And so because we were so successful and more people wanted to see us in the week, we decided to open a shop in the week. So we were running 2 salons, one on the weekend and then one in the week.
Okay. Now, I don't know for anybody watching this right now, you're listening to Cynthia Jurado talk about her launching of Estilo Salon, and you are just very humble. You're very humble. You're very down to earth. I just want to celebrate you.
Oh, thank you.
I want to celebrate you because whenever you decide to step out to do something that maybe other people don't even think that you can do, or of this magnitude with young children, I take my hat and my shoe off to you and I say, keep running,
Nice.
keep running.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you started small. You didn't know what it would take, but clearly from the comments that are coming through is that you're a very kind, welcoming person. Kindness always attracts. And I just want to encourage you to keep sounding your voice. I'm going to go off a little off topic. Now you've got sort of in the same topic because you said 2 locations.
Right.
What do you have? What is your vision for the salon? What
Well,
will be some of your wildest dreams for the salon?
I definitely see the salon growing more. I probably want a bigger location, add more people, eventually, take a step back and just let the salon run itself, and it's in the works.
Beautiful, beautiful. You're inspiring. You're inspiring our listeners. You're also inspiring me to keep pushing forward. You don't even know. You don't even know. Um, writing your own story. You launching out as an entrepreneur and opening the salon is about you writing your version of your story, how you want to kind of see your life play out, how you want to see your vision or your dream play out. How does the idea of that, of you writing your own story and taking control of the narrative, I just provoked you and asked you to dream some more. But how does the idea of writing your own story make you feel? What are the feelings that this kind of conjures up?
Writing my own story. I think last year I kind of put this idea in my mind about writing my own story, and it makes me a little nervous to think about it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, I think I should write my story. I have a lot of little stories to tell, and I think it could help a lot of women, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worn many shoes. I've done many things, and I just feel like writing my story. It could be a possibility, definitely.
That is now writing your own story, however you write it, whether you do a movie or whether you do a book. I believe that you're in the right direction and that you can do this.
Thank you.
I'm sure your children celebrate. First of all, how old are your children?
So they range from 12, 17, 22, there's 20, 23, 25, and 27.
How many children you have again?
7 in total.
Okay, Cynthia, you looking so calm and all together, and 7 children in total.
Yeah.
Well, you're good. What time does your day start?
Um, just regular 9 o'clock, 8
Oh, 9
o'clock.
o'clock. No, but
No, sorry.
like you waking up and
Oh, yeah,
getting all those things
about 7.
around 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure you have learned a method to maintain the madness under control over these years. Have you not?
Oh my God, I've tried so many things. Just even talking to other moms, like, my clients and stuff like that, just things that they've tried has helped me during the years, and my parents were very busy, like growing up. So we didn't really have that family togetherness.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to create, like in my family. We had I grew up watching a lot of like family shows, like what's it called? The Brady Bunch. That
Yeah.
was one I really enjoyed watching, and
Yeah.
just how the mom was and the dad was, and they'd have their little family meetings. So it's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this. Like, why not see how it works? I've tried many things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you said the Brady Bunch. I watched the Brady Bunch too, and we don't have a lot of those shows on anymore. But it's interesting how we learned from media. It's interesting how we learned from what we saw on TV, and it kind of challenged us to want to have or implement some of those things. Sophia says it definitely would. Your struggles versus triumphs will be inspirational and uplifting to many women who can relate. We love you, Cynthia. Your story needs to be heard. Okay, Cynthia, I'm with Sophia on this. Okay, I am with her on this because you're telling me 7 children, a family, a busy family, a salon, and you said to your friend, let's just do this. Let's just jump out. If you were speaking, if there was a woman that comes in your path and she has a dream or she has a vision for her life that, where she is right now, it might look challenging, what would you say to her?
I'd say go for it. Like, just take the chance, jump. You know what I mean? You can only learn from, mistakes, or either just grow with, the chance that you're taking.
I love that. You can only grow.
Yeah.
This is very, I don't take this lightly. I don't take your time lightly for being here. People are wanting to hear. Listen, I think your story is a bestseller already. If you ever, whenever you decide to sit down with that computer or that pen and put your story on paper, I believe that there are people's lives that are going to be challenged for the better and encouraged. You said something just now when I asked you about what would you say to the woman that has a dream? Take the chance and do. All you can do is grow. I didn't hear you say anything about failure, but you just talked about moving forward. And that is the dream. That's the desire, that one of the things that we're hoping as we have these conversations with women who have done different things. And that's what you're doing. You're pouring hope. If there was one thing that you would say to a woman to try to maybe a caution or avoid as they're using their voice and as their vision is developing, what would you say to them?
I guess don't tell too many people your dreams and your visions, because like those, if they're negative, those ideas will try to get into your head, and it'll stop you from trying to accomplish what it is, your dreams or your goals.
You know what? I'm going to actually high five you on that, because that is something That's something that I think we can all learn from. I know I have learned that too. Not everybody is blowing up balloons for you.
No.
And sometimes you might get around the wrong company that just wants to pop a couple of them so that you come down from your vision mountain of launching forward. And thank you for that. We don't want that. That's good. Stay away
Yeah.
from the naysayers. Don't tell too many. Don't tell too many, and actually don't tell the wrong people. But you don't find out it's the wrong people until afterwards, right?
Later, right, for sure. But I've
So
learned that, so that's
yeah,
advice that I would definitely give.
awesome.
Yeah.
If I want to ask you one final question for now, I think, as we bring this interview to a wrap, I want to ask you about the imagery in your mind that forms when you hear the word victory. All of our questions have been about using your voice, your vision. But when you hear that word victory, how does it play out in your mind?
Okay. Well, victory. I think when Nadia first asked me these questions, victory, like I really had to sit back and really think about it, because I don't really think about this like, oh, victory, like um, when I think of victory, I think of just different times when I was winning, different times when I was growing. Um, yeah, I think about those times, those victorious times, you
Mm,
know? That's what I think about when I think about victory, because we're not always at the top, all the time. Yeah.
yes.
So it just really makes me think about those times when I was victorious in something, I was winning.
I love that. I love that. I'm curious. I'm going to come back to that victory word, but I'm curious. Can you tell us the story behind the name Estilo Salon?
So estilo actually means style, and it
Okay.
actually means style in Spanish, and it means style in French. And like I had mentioned, my coworker, she when she first came from Grenada, she was living in Montreal, so she had to learn French. So actually, she came up with the concept, and she's like estilo, because it means style in French and Spanish, and we're creating styles for people, so we'll just call it estilo salon.
I love
So
that.
yeah.
Isn't that interesting that she would think of the French meaning and also the Spanish meaning. So you kind of cross culturally cross that language. Where were you originally born?
I'm actually born here, but my parents are from Ecuador.
Beautiful. Help me with my ignorance. What is the native language to Ecuador? I don't want to assume.
uh we speak Spanish.
Okay, there you go. All right. So that just sheds a little light to me on the meaning. I love the meanings of names. I love asking people if they know what the meaning of their name is. I think it's powerful when you do. And so estilo is about style, and it sounds like the testimonials that we've heard and received is that estilo is very much stylish, a place to go get well styled.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you so much for being here, Cynthia. I don't know if you've ever thought of a wall of victory. It just popped into my head. If you ever thought of painting a wall or decorating a space to hallmark some of the victories that you've had, would that be something? Or have you ever thought of anything like that
That's funny that you say that, because actually today when I was thinking of the word victory, I imagined a wall with different victories that I had accomplished, or different things that I had accomplished in my life. So it's crazy that you say that, because I had like a vision of this wall, you know, and it was kind
Oh,
of all attached together.
honest, honest to goodness, that's what I didn't want to impose it on you, but I just had this vision of you having a wall, whether it be in your home or whether it be in your salon, so that, when women come into your salon, that they can appreciate the journey that you have been on to establish this business. And I just feel like I just want to encourage you, Cynthia, to keep going, to keep moving forward. I'm so thankful that you had another woman in your corner when
Yeah.
you started your salon. Is she still with you in the business?
Oh yeah, we're like an old married couple.
Oh, love it.
She's my work wife.
Love it. Love it. So you guys are a tag team, and I think that it's just making me feel all warm and fuzzy. God bless you, and please be encouraged to know that there are lots of women who are watching you. They're watching you, they're pushing you, they're celebrating you. And I'm sure that they understand that the journey hasn't been easy. But just like with this conversation, we are hoping that every listener, everybody that's watching now or will listen to the playback, will know that you're writing your story. Your story is being written right now, and we really celebrate you. The feedback has been that the service is excellent, and Estilo Salon has just begun. I can't wait to see what happens in the days ahead and in the years ahead. Is there anything that you want to share that's come to your mind that you'd like to share with us or with our listeners, about you, about the salon, about life, about your journey, anything?
Um, I'm just thankful for this platform, and thank you so much for being able to share, a little bit about my story. And yeah, for me, it's not just hair, it's therapy, it's therapeutic, it's therapy for me that I get to listen to the story of whoever sits in my chair, and that we can share with each other. And I'm so grateful for all my clients that I've had over the years, that I've watched grow, that have helped me grow tremendously. And I'm grateful for all these opportunities.
So awesome. So beautiful. Well said. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for joining us this evening. I want to thank Cynthia Jurado for being with us. She's been our guest, and sharing with us about her journey. We want to encourage you to visit www.HERstory. The tagline is there for you to jump on.ca. We want to encourage you to purchase any of the co-branded items that you see, because her story is giving extra from these products to the Olive Branch of Hope. Feel free to donate instead on the website as well. All the funds raised are dedicated to purchasing specialized medical devices for Black women living with lymphedema after breast cancer treatment. The comments are coming in hot and furious. Cynthia is a strong woman of God. Kudos to her story for bringing these beautiful, oh yes, she is. So the comments are there, and I think they're still going to keep rolling in, and people who watch the replay will be able to comment on this live, Cynthia. I do hope that I get to interview you again, because I feel like there's a wealth of information inside of you that the world needs to hear, that your community, that the community at large needs to hear. I feel a little affinity. I've just come back from Colombia a couple of weeks ago, and the reason why I wanted to make sure the language was right, because I need to learn Spanish. I need to learn to speak Spanish, because now I'm communicating with the women back then. I'm having to translate, Google Translate. But maybe one day I'll get to Ecuador. Who knows?
Yeah, you should. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful country.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. And for everybody that's watching the replay, you can listen, you can share this, And remember, the folks, the women that are experiencing lymphedema, this is the goal of the purchase of the products on the website. But I want to close out by saying thank you. God bless you. Be blessed in everything that you do. I pray that your family will continue to experience the joy of your giftings, and everybody that comes in your home will feel welcome. Thank you, Cynthia Jurado, for your time.
Thank you so much.
And if you're looking for a salon, I want to recommend Estilo Salon. Can you tell us where it is?
Yeah, we're located on St. Clair and Old West Road, so
Okay.
the west end of Toronto.
All right, I know the
You can
area.
find us on Instagram, Estilo Salon.
Okay, got that. Is Estilo Salon on Instagram,
Yes.
and it's in the west part of Toronto. If you need a stylist, here she is. You've heard from her, you've seen her, and we want you to experience her handiwork and her love. Thank you, Cynthia, again for joining us.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much for having me.
You're so welcome. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
First of all, I always thought that breast cancer was a white woman's disease. I didn't know that black women got breast cancer, and that was mainly because all the promotions featured white women. So I just thought, oh, black women don't get this. And then lo and behold, I was diagnosed with stage 3 advanced breast cancer. I thought after that I finished with the IV and the chemo that I was going to go home. I didn't know I had to take additional not over-the-counter, but prescription drugs. And I went, and it was quite expensive. And I thought to myself, okay, what do poor people do? How do women that look like me, that is less fortunate than I am, how do they make it? How do they find the money to pay for this prescription, take care of their families, cover all their finances? That must be so difficult for them. And then I was at home one morning feeling, terrible after chemotherapy treatment. Couldn't get off the bed. It was terrible. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want any other woman that looks like me to have to go through this alone. So when I get better, I'm going to do something about this. That started the journey of me and the Olive Branch of Hope.